Buenos dias, amigos. Welcome to 2025. Happy 2025 to all of you guys. Well, I was missing Latin America, I was missing South America, and I was missing Colombia. So, I took a flight, as soon as 2025 came around, I took a flight back down here to one of my favorite countries in the world. Made it to the fourth biggest city of Colombia by population. The river you can see here is the biggest and most important river of Colombia, and it's the biggest river in South America after the Amazon, of course. It stretches for over 1,600 kilometers from the south of Colombia northwards to the Caribbean Sea and the city in which we are in right now, the city of Barranquilla. Let's see what this 2 million people city of Barranquilla is like. Vamos! This city here of Barranquilla is famous for 4 things. First of all, the Colombian national team, La Selección, plays all of its home games here in the city. Why? Well, the people say because it's a better vibe here in the city than down in Medellin and in Bogota. Second, the city is famous for its carnival, which takes place over the 4 days preceding Ash Wednesday every year. The Carnival de Barranquilla, one of the most famous events in all of Colombia. Third, this city is the birthplace and hometown of Shakira. And fourth, the city is the birthplace of the best beer in the world, La Aguila. And by the way, I'm staying in a cheap hotel, an old hotel. I'm going to show it to you guys in a bit. Right guys, so welcome to my cheap hotel room here in Barranquilla, Colombia. Check it out. This is what you get for, like $22 in Barranquilla, Colombia. Gives you a more or less comfortable bed. Pretty old walls. I mean, they need a little clean. If you look at them. An old school table, which is nearly falling apart. Got a little fridge here. AC. TV, which I don't use. Yeah. A little nasty view here onto a main street and a petrol station. There we've got a nasty bathroom. Check it out, guys. The toilet is clean, the toilet is alright. But the shower, I mean, meant for you to break it. And you look at the shower hat. Well, I mean, it's alright. For $22 a night, this is alright. I mean, in Europe, you wouldn't even get a hostel for that price. You've still got the Christmas tree up here of the Malecon, the Barranquilla. To be fair, not too much going on here at the Malecon. Want to check the place out. Check out the skyline of Barranquilla. And by the way, another fun fact about Barranquilla, which you probably didn't know. The airport of Barranquilla was built in 1919 and is the oldest airport of South America. Crazy. You didn't know that, did you? Beautiful, windy Magdalena River, the Rio de Magdalena. I wouldn't recommend swimming in there. In my hotel, I've showed you guys before, they've told me that I'm actually maybe one of the only foreigners in town right now, because most foreigners just come like for a day trip from Cartagena or Santa Marta. And look at this place, wow, it's a massive outdoor gym area here. Wow, a nice outdoor gym. There's many people around here. Many people taking pictures of my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend I should say. But she's here. I was in town, so she called me up. And yeah, we're now gonna meet her. You guys are gonna meet her as well. Hola amor, ¿qué tal? Shakira. She's a bit taller today than in the old days, but still a pretty woman. Right guys, this building right here is the hotel I've showed you before. My $22 hotel. It's pretty old, to be fair. And this is the street I'm staying in here, in Barranquilla. Let me tell you this, guys, about this city. My first impressions are kind of mixed. It's a lot less touristy than Santa Marta and especially Cartagena, as I've told you before, and a lot cheaper. But it's also, I mean, the infrastructure here, especially for public transport, is horrendous. The traffic, guys. Man, this reminds me of Lima in Peru, or Bogota even. This is worse than Bogota. It's crazy. And it takes ages to get from place to get anywhere in this city, because everything is very far away. Hola, buenas. ¿Son empanadas o son arepas?
Esta es arepa con huevo y esta le vamos a hacer empanada.
¿Qué hay como empanada?
¿Cómo?
¿Qué hay como empanadas?
La empanada tengo de pollo, queso o carne.
Gracias.
Regálame.
Y también podría tener, pues, regalarme una águila.
Ok.
Gracias. Hola, señor, ¿todo bien? And now we're about to have some delicious, not very healthy, but delicious Colombian street foods. Right guys, look at this feast. This street food feast here in Barranquilla, Colombia. Wow, couldn't be more Colombian. We have papareña with beef, no, with chicken. Then we've got an empanada with chicken and an arepa with eggs. And here comes my gracias, señora. Muchas gracias, mami. And here comes the best beer in the world. In its hometown, Barranquilla, La Aguila, original, creada en Barranquilla, created in Barranquilla in 1913. The best beer in the world. Que rico. Saludos guys. Cheers to you guys and cheers to 2025. I've missed Aguila. So now let's talk in. Let's talk into the, let's give all of it a try. The arepa with eggs first. Colombian arepa with huevo inside. It's basically fried arepa with fried egg inside. I've already destroyed the chicken empanada. Tastes a bit similar to the Venezuelan empanada I've had. Now let's get to the papareña, a fried potato, a fried massive potato filled with chicken apparently as well. So, provecho guys, let's go for it. Man, when it comes to food in general in Latin America, Peru and also Mexico win. Man, it's windy today. But when it comes to street foods, I think Colombia wins. Woohoo! Right guys, wanna know what that feast, that Colombian street food feast, cost me? It came to a total with the beer of 13,000 Colombian pesos, which is a bit under, which is just under €3. So probably like $3 or a bit over $3. It's crazy. I mean, Colombian food, Colombian street food is tasty, it's filling, it's cheap, but it's not healthy. I mean, if I would live in Colombia, oh man, I would get fat. Even I would get fat with my crazy metabolism. Check it out, a massive mall. This seems to be like one of the richer parts of town here in Barranquilla. So let's go and check it out. Barranquilla, it's at the same time one of the most dangerous cities in Colombia. In 2007 it has the biggest homicide rate in all of Colombia, higher than of Cali. So up there with Cali, that's one of the most dangerous and most murderous cities in Colombia. But also, very interestingly, one of the richest cities in Colombia. So the entire city is kind of divided into very poor and kind of rich, which is why many rich Colombians come on holiday with their families. Oh, so much better inside here. So much better inside here. I reckon there's more people inside here than outside in the heat. But yeah, this looks very fancy. In it, it's super cool. Yes, it looks super cool. The Adidas factory outlet. Oh yeah, this is a massive outlet. And I see it everywhere written, Precious outlets. Outlet prices. Everything to cater to the mass national tourism. Morning guys, buenos dias. It's the next day here in Barranquilla. It's pretty cloudy again. And yeah, hopefully it's not going to start raining soon. I've got a feeling it does though. So I've decided to, instead of staying here in grey Barranquilla, pretty unusual for this time of the year, we're going to head out of the city and check out the beach. A town called Puerto, Colombia. Everyone tells me to go there. Apparently it's the best beach here in the area, one of the best beaches and beach towns in all of Colombia. So let's go and check it out. Let's head to a bus station. We need to find the bus stop first. And then let's take an old school Colombian Caribbean bus to the city of Puerto, Colombia. Vamos! Para al bus por Puerto, Colombia.
Por aquí, o sea, lo vamos allá.
Por allá?
Vaya en la esquina.
Ah, ok.
Ahí por aquí.
Ah, ok.
Un amarillo.
Muy mal. ¿Qué vendes?
Galleta griega.
Ah, no necesito, gracias.
Son obleas.
Pero gracias, no necesito. Yeah, I started raining again. I went on the bus because the bus is not driving today, it's not stopping. So I'm in a cab with, ¿cuál es tu nombre? Carlos. My cab driver. Good price. Gonna get there for 30,000, like €6, $6.50. And it started raining, man. So strange. Never rains here in January. Oh yeah, climate change. Bonito. Barranquilla. La ciudad de Shakira y de Aguila.
Aguila.
La mejor cerveza del mundo. Right guys, just got out of the taxi, out of the cab, and we've made it to Puerto, Colombia. Loads of people out and about here, man. And it's not raining here. It's been raining for the entire ride. At some point I just stopped filming because it wasn't beautiful. But now, hola. Viva Colombia. And now we're in Puerto, Colombia, just 12 kilometers from Barranquilla. If you look at Barranquilla on the map, you'll see that it's actually not got a beach. It's only bordering the Magdalena River Delta. Barranquilla is the end of the Magdalena River, which we've seen yesterday, where we started the video. And it's not really got a beach, it's got that riverside walk, the Malecón as they call it, but they haven't got a beach. And here, all the people from Barranquilla come to this beach. This is where all the tourists that come to Barranquilla for the Christmas holidays and New Year's festivities would come to the beach. And yeah, we've already reached the beach. And a wild dog, as in so many places in Colombia. Check it out, guys. Finally, it's been almost 6-7 months since I've seen the beach, apart from Marseille, but I'm not counting that. Check it out, guys. Wow. And it's busy. Here we can see the Caribbean. If we go straight here, you'll end up in Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic, places where we might go to on this trip. One thing which I just love about Colombian people and Latinos in general is that, I mean, it's not a pretty day, it's very cloudy and windy as well, but people are still going to the beach, people are still enjoying life. Even when it's rainy and cloudy and cold, people ain't crying and sitting at home depressed. In Europe and probably also in the US, in the West in general, people get depressed so quickly and angry. It's raining a bit and people are staying at home and not doing anything. It's cold outside and people are staying at home. And look at here, look how crowded this beach is. Hola amigo. That's just Colombia in a nutshell. Hola. Viva Colombia. Now guys, one very, very interesting fact about this small beach town of Puerto Colombia. I mean, the name Puerto Colombia literally means port of Colombia, Colombian ports. And yeah, this ain't just a small beach town right next to Barranquilla, so that the people of Barranquilla or the tourists that go to Barranquilla can go to the beach, to a proper sand beach on the Caribbean Sea. This ain't just the Caribbean beach of Barranquilla. This small port town here has played a major, very, very important role in Colombian history. In 1920, it was the epicenter of Colombian maritime trade. Everything that went in and out of Colombia arrived here in Puerto Colombia. Because back then, the port of Barranquilla wasn't even constructed yet. So before Barranquilla became the epicenter of Colombian trade, it was this town of Puerto Colombia. Hola. Buenas. And now we're at the Mirador, overlooking the port and the old harbor. And another interesting fact, guys, which I haven't told you yet about this town of Puerto Colombia and this port. It has been built, loads of migrants came here from all over the world, and many from Turkey. I had no idea about this, that Turks came here. Teşekkürler. Merhaba to all my Turks. You Turks are everywhere. The Turks apparently built this harbor, or this building here, in the 1980s. And the dock, which you can see in the distance here, this old dock, well, that's also a pretty significant dock because it used to be the longest dock in the world in, yeah, the 20th century. That's pretty crazy. And man, despite it being windy, I mean, on camera it probably looks like I'm in Bournemouth or something, or on some Belgian beach or Dutch beach. Or like I'm on the Atlantic somewhere. But I'm on the Caribbean, it's just a grey, windy day. But look at the people out and about having fun. It's a good vibe. Colombians don't give a shit whether it's raining or whether it's rainy, whether it's grey, whether it's cold. Looks like it's kind of a restaurant here called El Inmigrante, the immigrant. Probably in Europe you wouldn't find a restaurant that is called the immigrant, the migrant. Hola, buenas. Viva Colombia. And loads of wild dogs around here, like unfortunately everywhere in South America. And here we've got a beautiful part of the beach, the prettiest part of the beach. Man. I wouldn't recommend, walking bare feet here at this part of the beach. Probably full of all sorts of diseases. But despite it not being the prettiest of beaches, people are enjoying themselves. Buenas, provechos. Look at the people here, enjoying life, not caring about place around it. Very nice. Man, I just feel for some of these people, like, looks like they're not sitting in the dirt for no reason. They are literally eating there, having lunch there. Man, I've always been to both Cartagena and Santa Marta before. I kind of never made it here to Barranquilla, which is why I've decided to come. As you know, I didn't like Cartagena. I never filmed it, I didn't start this YouTube. I didn't do YouTube yet when I went there. It was my first time in Colombia. My first backpacking trip. And Santa Marta we went together, of course, in my last time in Colombia, like 15 or 18 months ago. And I like Santa Marta already a lot better than Cartagena. It wasn't as touristy, not as a rip-off place as Cartagena is. But still it's touristy. You're gonna find gringos there. Gringos mostly go to Cartagena for sex tourism. And those who don't do that go to Santa Marta. But here in Barranquilla, not many foreigners come except for day trips. I've been told, I've seen it myself, there basically ain't foreigners in this city, in this part of Colombia, even though it's right between the two most gringo-filled places of Colombia, Cartagena and Santa Marta. And here in Barranquilla you won't find any gringos. I'm really standing out here, which has its good and its bad sides obviously, but I like it. Very nice. Hello. This guy right there with the megaphone is warning people to get out of the water because the waves are getting too high, it's getting too windy. Check it out. He's walking through the entire beach with his megaphone to warn people to get out of the water, and everyone's obeying. Check it out. People are actually getting out, apart from some rebels over there. Safety's on top here, safety's on point. It's not the cleanest beach, but safety is on point. It's taken very, very seriously here in Barranquilla, or in Puerto, Colombia I should say. Look at what we found here, guys. An abandoned plane, right next to the beachfront. Let's go and check that out. Seems to be a real one. Maybe that plane, I don't know, stranded here or something. Probably cannot enter, but yeah. An abandoned old plane, full of graffiti these days. But it also looks a bit, has that vibe to it, like this, you know, this homeless hangout vibe to it. This probably is the homeless hangout of Puerto, Colombia. After all, it's a port city, a port town. Nice toilet. Finally found myself a place to eat. Looks nice. Authentic enough and smells good. So let's go for some food here. Buenas. And a nice dog. You have a home, right? Tú tienes una casa. Tú no estás salvaje. Ah man. A few days ago I was still in Europe, freezing my ass off. And now I'm back in Colombia, back at the Caribbean. Back with my favorite beer, Aguila. Sabor siempre igual. Always the same taste, best beer in the world. I don't actually drink that much anymore. When I'm not traveling, I actually never drink. But yeah, I mean, when in the hometown of the best beer in the world, you gotta take advantage of that. So cheers again. Cheers to Barranquilla, and cheers to Colombia, and cheers to Puerto, Colombia. Look at that, mate. Look at that. An entire fish out of the sea. With some plátano frito, some fried banana, fried plantain I should say, lime, bit of salad, rice. Looks good. Looking good. I just hope the fish ain't infected. I hope the fish is alright. It looks tasty, but probably full of bones. But to be fair, it looks good. Check it out. Freshly grilled fish here from the Caribbean Sea, provecho. Man. Got a bit of rice. Wow. That is smashingly good, man. That might be one of the best grilled, if not the best grilled fish I've ever had, actually. Tastes fresh. Wow. Really good, good quality. Hopefully I'm not going to regret eating this, but at the moment I don't. I surely don't. Wow. Judging by the people taking pictures, a very famous place. And probably a good place to finish this video. This first video back in Colombia. As it's starting to rain again. Starting to drip down again a bit. Tomorrow I'll be leaving the north of Colombia, the Caribbean Sea of Colombia, and I'll be heading to a very, very interesting place here in this amazing country. So I'll see you guys there. See you in the next one from Colombia, parce. Hasta luego, amigos. See you in a bit.